today, I really want to tell you a little bit about how these things work, how they help us out, how really complicated they are, how if you asked the smartest person you could find to design something and build something that did what a tree does, they wouldn't do half as good a job. Trees are really amazing the way they work. And that's what we're going to talk about today a little bit, how trees work. They look really simple. In fact, you walk by them, they look the same today as they did yesterday, almost. And they'll look about the same tomorrow, and you think they're just standing there doing nothing. Not true. Not true. First of all, a tree is a plant. Plants are important to us because plants can do something we can't do. They can make their own food. Can you guys make your own food?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you can?
Yes.
Who made their own breakfast this morning?
Me.
Who? Who said me?
Me.
Oh, what did you make for breakfast?
Toast.
Toast! I have news for you. That toast started life as wheat, which was a plant. You didn't make the wheat. The wheat made the wheat, okay? Go ahead. What did you make?
Pancakes.
Pancakes, also made out of flour, which is generally made out of wheat, which is a plant. You see, what plants do is plants take in sunlight, they take in carbon dioxide, and above all, they take in water. And they're the only ones that can do the magic of turning that into sugar. You can't make sugar. I can't make sugar. We don't do that. Plants do that. What did you have for breakfast?
Eggs.
Eggs! Did you make the eggs? No, probably a chicken did, right? Okay, and what did the chicken have for breakfast?
Worms.
Well, maybe a few worms,
Ew.
but maybe a little corn, maybe a little grain, which it came from a plant. You starting to get the pattern here?
Yeah.
Plants are really important. Plants capture sunlight, plants make sugar. Animals, us, we can't do that. So if the plants aren't there to get the whole process started, we don't eat. Okay? We don't last very long. Oh, one other thing. Plants are really important. Who here can really hold their breath? I want somebody, come here. Come up here, please. Okay. On the count of three, I want you to hold your breath as long as you possibly can. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see how good he is at this. Anybody got a guess how long this is going to last? You're starting to turn blue. That's good. Up around 12, 14 seconds. Oh, we're getting purple. I'm impressed, though. About 20 seconds. About 25 seconds. This is good. This is really good. We're getting up to a half a minute. I think you're starting to breathe a little bit. You know, if you breathe through your nose, it doesn't count. Okay, you can give up anytime you want. Okay, here's the problem. When we breathe it out, you know, we breathe oxygen, right? You guys need that? Okay. Trees make that stuff. So if you don't have any trees, you don't have plants, you don't have that cycle going on, you get to live about as long as you can hold your breath. Okay? That was only about 35 seconds. Okay? I'd like to last a little longer than 35 seconds. You should realize the breathing cycle that goes on this planet. Plants take in carbon dioxide and they produce oxygen. We're very fond of oxygen. We exhale carbon dioxide. We help each other out. Okay? If anyone tells you it's a really good idea, whack the trees down and pave over all the grass, it's like holding your breath. It's not going to work very well for very long. You can go back and sit down. Okay?
Yeah, but I can hold it longer.
I know you can, but you know, you got people sitting here and I kind of, you know, I didn't let you get ready. But the point of it is, if you had a good day, you only got to a minute and a half. And I'm planning for this day to last longer than a minute and a half. All right, here's what we're going to do. I want to tell you a little bit about how the internals of a tree work. The best way we can do that is to actually build a tree. We have to use the materials at hand. There's hardly anything in here useful except boys and girls. So with your help, we're going to build a tree out of you guys, okay? I will need some volunteers. Let's start in the back. In green, all the way back here. By the way, everybody in the back of the room, I don't see real well. So I will try to call on you, but I actually don't see you very well. Okay. First part of a tree that I want to tell you about. Let's see here. Let's see, first you need a name. No, there you go. I'm never going to get them apart. Here we go. There you go. Put that around your neck, please. All right. Oh, wait, we have more valuable prizes. Come on over here. Okay. This, here, if you're to be a proper root, you have to look something like this. George Washington. Yes, very good. Okay. You want to try that on?
George Washington, excuse me.
All right, that's very good. You know, you can actually take that off. That's not really a good look for you. Okay, just hold on to it. Just hold on to it. Now, by the way, I didn't just bring her up here and make her put that on because it was funny, which it is. But no. There's a reason for this. I want to show you this. Let me show you one of your trees. Okay, this one. Okay. I think this is going to become my tree now, since I'm going to unwrap it. Trees, you're about to find out, love water. This one's wrapped up to give it the best possible chance to go home with you guys at the end of the day and still be living. So you can see it's wrapped in newspaper, it is dripping wet. It should stay this way until you're ready to plant it. But what I want to do is show you the roots on the real live tree, if I can. We're doing a great job on this. All right.
See the difference.
Okay. All right. All right. There's your buttonwood tree. Kind of a baby buttonwood tree. All right. Now, do you notice these little parts down here? Do you understand why I gave that to you? The really important part of the roots are not the big long thing that you can all see in the back. No. It's the really small things. See the little hairs? See them? Okay. That's really the important part of the root. Now this part is really amazing. First of all, even though it doesn't look like it, the ends of those are really, really slippery. Okay? Very important, because has anyone ever tried to dig a hole around here?
No.
Is it easy?
No.
No. As soon as you get down to six inches, you are going to be chopping with that shovel. We actually own something called a shale bar around here. A lot of people have them because the ground seems so hard. It doesn't matter to the tree. Those little hair-like roots, they grow very slowly. They're very slick. Whatever crevices, whatever little cracks in there, cracks you can't even see, they will work their way into. They will spread out, and they will get where they need to go. They have no trouble because those little hairs are just perfect at getting where they want to go. When they get there, they do their number one job, which is to collect water. Oh yeah. Remember I said plants, trees make sugar? A big tree. You can't see when I look. But when you go outside, look for the biggest tree you can. Here's what that tree is doing every day. It is sucking about 40 gallons of water out of the ground. It's making about 10 pounds of sugar every single day. Now, a gallon of water weighs about 8 pounds. So that tree is actually lifting 320 pounds of water, more than I planned with it today. You think it's just standing there. Now, it's pulling water out of the ground, and that process starts with these tiny little roots. Want to go, they suck up water, they suck up some other nutrients that the tree needs. This is how the tree starts the process of making sugar, by collecting water. It also helps the tree stand up. Did anyone have any trees fall down at their house or near? Yeah, melted, right? Okay. Well, that's the other thing that roots are supposed to do. Get in there and hold on as tight as you can so the tree can stand up.
They won't very big trees.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. There were lots of different kinds of trees that fell. There was too much water on the ground. Trees love water. They have to find big trees, 40 gallons every day. Well, if they get too much water, and those roots haven't gotten as far as they can't keep hold because the ground's too wet. The tree falls. Okay. So you saw what roots do. They suck up water and they try to hold the tree in place. Okay. going to take a beat. Okay, now, I'll give you a couple of other things here. If I can. Actually, I need some help. Right back there in pink. Almost. Okay, right back there in orange. There we go. Cut me 2 strings about, I don't know, pretty long, about twice as high as you, twice as long as you are tall. Okay? All right, so that's the first part of the tree called the what? Roots. The roots, okay. I need another volunteer. Okay, right there in gray.
She already helped.
Hmm?
She already helped.
Oh, well, yeah, it's true. It is true. Let's see. Aha! Okay.
2 strings?
You get this?
No, 1 string.
One long string. One long string. That's good. Just snip it there.
Right here.
Yep. Oh, we have something for you too. All right. You don't have to wear that on your head either. Okay, you have that? Stretch. Pull. Yeah. You took the pair of scissors right now. Oh, wait, let's try this.
You used one wrong.
There we go. Okay, I'm going to ask you to hold on to this.
Yes.
All right? All right, I'm going to ask you to hold on to this. Okay, what's part of the tree?
Interruption. The internet will be going down in about 10 minutes.
Otherwise it'll get tired.
It should just be for 5 to 10 minutes. I'll let you know when it's up again.
Excellent. No internet for 10 minutes. All right. What's this part of the tree called? Also called xylem. Perfect. Now, you have one job and one job alone, and it is to carry what? Water. Okay. The roots go out and gather all this water. Well, the rest of the tree needs it. Okay. So your job in life is to take the water that she finds and basically it gets passed up the tree. It's a complicated, it's actually a very simple process called capillary action. The tree is constructed with lots of guys just like this to pass water up the tree. Now you got to remember, these guys are actually standing one on top of the other. We have it laid out because it's easier for us. But there would be another guy just like you up here, and there'd be another one down there below your feet. And all you do all day is pass water up. Okay? That's what you do. All right. Now, let's see. I need another volunteer.
I'm right with this string.
Let's see. Let's see. Right there.
Who gets the sun?
All the way at the other end of the tree, all the way up the top. Okay? Put your name on there.
Yeah, they said the sun.
And what is your name in real life? Rachel. This is Rachel today. Rachel is a leaf. Okay? Oh yeah, this is absolutely required.
You soak up the sun.
Yes. All right. Leaves soak up the sun. Leaves are also amazing. Leaves do the magic that I described earlier, wherein trees make sugar. Rachel, our leaf, will take in carbon dioxide, take in water, because she's connected at the very end, right? I want you all the way out here because we have some more things we're going to know. Okay? Takes in the sun, takes in all that carbon dioxide. Well, you can take them. Actually, I think they're prescriptions. So why don't you can sort of hold them if you want. And the whole magic of producing that 10 pounds of sugar happens right here. Rachel is absolutely, entirely responsible. All right? She is the star of the program. She is the rock star, okay? All the really great magic is happening right here. Leaves have something called chlorophyll, which is an integral part of a process called photosynthesis, which is how we take sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, and we make sugar. The tree is happy and well fed, and indirectly, so are the rest alive. So, Rachel's very important, all right? But we have a surprise for Rachel. Okay. She thinks she's pretty special, and she is. But we have a surprise for her later. I need another volunteer. Okay, right back there. Okay, let's see here. We have our green thread yet?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, pass that up or throw it up. Maybe the passing will work better. Okay, we're going to need this. I would like you to stand right over here. Okay? And your name tag. And I'm sure I have something for you. Yes, I do. Here we go. Okay. All right, what's that stuff? Okay, first of all, what's your name in real life? Yes, but Ivan, today you are a phloem. Phloem are a special kind of cell that make up part of the tree and has a special job. Just like our xylem cells carry water up the tree, and I mentioned sugar gets made up in the leaves, well, the rest of the tree gets hungry. How do we get the sugar back to the rest of the tree? That, my friend, is your job. There are more of you, just like you, some standing on top of your head, some down below your feet. And then sugar passes down the tree. So you're holding on to this, and down the green line of all the phloem cells, and hold on to that. You don't grab this, you're not really part of this. But you're part of this, you get fed, you're doing a lot of work down here at the bottom of the tree. Your job is to pass sugar. Okay? The leaves take some, they're well fed. Or excuse me, the leaves take some, they're well fed. The roots get some. You take some along the way so that you're well fed, right? You take your cut. You get yours too. Not much though. You didn't get much. And so this is the cycle. The water starts down here, flows up to the top. You do your magic, we get sugar. The sugar passes back and throughout the entire tree. It's a pretty happy tree. Wait, there's more. I need another volunteer. Okay. Let's see. Way in the back, in pink.
It makes butter.
It makes butter. No, it doesn't make butter. Sugar is about the only trick. I'm going to ask you to stand right in between these guys. You might want to hop underneath. What is your name in real life?
Neva.
Neva, today you are cambium. Cambium is a one-cell layer. Sits between the xylem, sits between the phloem. And this is what I have for you. First of all,
You don't
put
get
that in
any
one
sugar.
hand. Put that in the other hand.
Cut some.
Okay. There we go. Okay. Guess what your job in life is?
To eat.
To eat. Hey, eat and also to grow. Okay? Wow, that sounds like a lot like your gig, isn't it? Isn't that what you guys do? You guys eat, you grow. There's no school for cambium cells, so this is basically it. This is what you do. You eat and you grow. Now, the thing is,
And she's already wearing glasses.
when she finally gets to a certain size, you know what? We put you to work. All right? We put you to work. You either become a phloem cell like this guy, all right? Or you might become a xylem cell like this guy. I don't know how you tell. But at some point, the tree decides what you're going to do, or you're programmed to know what you're going to do. And at that point, the gravy train's over and you have to go to work, and you become one of these guys. But now what's really interesting is, has anyone ever gone out, does everyone think a tree is tough or kind of not so tough?
Strong.
Think it'll take a strong, think it'll take a lot of punishment?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it would, but it's really interesting. These sets of cells, okay, are not buried deep inside the tree. They're on the very, very outside, just below the bark. If anything happens to these cells, the tree is diminished. The tree can't do its job. The tree has a little trouble staying alive. So I want you to always remember, be very careful if you have a notion about carving into the bark of a tree. You don't have to go very deep. You start killing these cells right here. And that big tough tree that stands much taller than you are, all of a sudden, is really very hurt. So you have to be careful, because all of the really live, vital tissue of a tree is on the outside, not buried on the inside. It's buried on the inside. I will tell you what's on the inside, though, but for that, I will need another tip. Okay, let's see. Someone feeling strong this morning? Way back in the back. Yes, you.
He's the bark. Heart.
Oh, you can kind of hang out here in the middle somewhere.
He's close to the bark. That one.
You can sit behind it because you actually are in the middle of the tree.
Oh, wait.
You gonna put that on there? What's your name in real life?
Toby.
Yes, Toby, but today you are heartwood, okay? Heartwood is what we all think of as wood. That's what your furniture is made out of. It's what you might burn in your fireplace. Heartwood has one purpose in life. It provides the structure for the tree. It allows the tree to get bigger because it's really the scaffolding on which everything else sits. The leaves, the smaller branches, all of that is out there because the heartwood stands in the middle. In order to do that, you know, you got to be pretty strong there. So there's your deal. Okay? Now, this is really good. You know, you're strong, you're good looking. We all like the way wood looks, right? Okay? This sounds pretty good for you, right? Right? Okay, I have some bad news though. Okay? As strong and as good looking as you are, you're dead. Yes, I'm afraid to say that what you usually think of as wood is no longer living tissue. Now, this is really neat, the way a tree does this. You began life, actually, as you. You grew up, started as a cambium cell, grew up, spent about a year carrying water, but then we kind of noticed you're getting kind of tired. You're not really doing the job anymore. So what the tree does is kind of cuts you off. You know, no more sugar for you. And what happens is, the cambium cells grow up, they kind of take your place, and you are in back toward, and you take its place on the outside. So you know how a tree, when it grows up, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger? Yeah. That's because we're adding more living tissue on the outside. What's on the inside? This guy. After you've gotten old, tired, and in fact, have finally died. So even though you're quite strong, quite useful, and that's really amazing, this guy can't do his intended job anymore. The tree has figured out a system whereby it converts you to a different use.
So I'm retiring?
You're retiring and dying. Okay? All right? But still, absolutely useful and becomes the structure that allows the tree to get bigger next year. All right? Pretty nifty system, right?
Yeah.
Pretty well-designed, well-functioning system. This is why I like trees.
Why do I have to die?
Well, you know, it's the gig,
Well, I have
man.
to die too.
Yeah, he's just, you know,
You're not young anymore.
you were there first.
guys will die together.
Okay. I want to tell you about another thing that the tree does to help itself and also recycle. For that, I need another volunteer. Okay. Right there. Yeah, it's you.
Wow, look, there's like nobody there. She's bark.
Yes. You can, like, anywhere in the middle there. We should be in front, though.
Catcher's mask.
Okay. All right. What's your name in real life? Jenny? But Jenny, today you are?
Jenny.
Yes. Oh, Jenny? But today,
She's bark.
she's Barb. Okay. For that, here you go.
Put it on.
Okay, right on there.
Bring it on.
Okay. Why did I give her
Bring
this?
it on.
No, actually, you have to have it down. I mean, this is serious stuff you're doing. Actually, if it's uncomfortable, you can take it off. But, and hold it if you want. Okay. Why did I give her this? What is she doing? Yeah.
Well, bark is strong, so she's protecting inside.
Yeah, I don't know how strong it is, but that's exactly right. It's the protective outside cover. Remember I said all these guys who are doing work and are alive, they're very close to the outside? Well, there is an outside covering. That's you, Gene. All right? That's the bark. All right? You're there to make sure that insects don't get inside. All right? And don't chew up the living tissue. You're there to generally protect all that living tissue. Now, I have more bad news. She's already dead. Okay? Actually, what happened was, you spent your year of carrying, what do you carry? Hold that up, please. Yeah, that's maple syrup, otherwise known as water and sugar. Okay? But what happens after an entire year of you carrying around that gummy water, okay, you start to get kind of clogged, and you start to get kind of gummy, and you don't really do very well as far as making sure that that sugar flows down the tree anymore. So you know what? We retire you and you die. And you're pushed to the outside part of the tree where you become bark. So another great example of how the tree engineers to use parts that no longer work well in their original function, but uses them for a very important other function.
She's balls.
No, Rachel's just a baby, you know. She's at the beginning. Okay?
What about the roots?
Oh, Rachel. I'm sorry, you're Rachel.
How did the roots die?
Oh, the roots live on. Okay.
They died.
Yeah, you're down here. Yeah, you're down here doing a lot of work, but you know what? You actually last a fairly long time.
Yay!
All right. Now I wanted to ask you, what happens to trees? Well, this time of year, what happens to trees as far as their leaves are concerned? What happens to them?
They died.
Not this time of year.
No, they start getting more leaves.
They start getting more leaves. Well, what happened to the last batch? Does anyone remember?
They died.
Way back in the fall, what happened? They fell.
I'm still alive.
Now wait. Well, we're going to have to talk about that.
I'm on the ground, but I'm still alive. Right?
Well, no, you're on the ground, but you're on your way out. You're pretty well done, okay? All right? But now, think about this.
Yeah, that's right.
This is really interesting. I told you a few minutes ago how absolutely important Rachel was in this whole process, right? She's the rock star. You know, carbon dioxide, sugar, we all eat, right? Why would we get rid of her? Now this is really interesting. This is really interesting. Actually, who said that? What did you say?
Because they have to.
Because you have to. Do you know why?
Because there's too much.
Well, what happens in the winter?
There's too much. It's cold.
Oh, yes, it's cold. And what happens? What happens when it's cold?
I don't like the cold. The snow smashed the leaves off.
Well, no, the leaves are gone long before you get any snow. What happens when it gets cold?
The sugar freezes up?
No, not the sugar, but close.
Oh.
Close. What did I tell you? What are the roots doing all through this time? They're gathering what?
Water.
Water. What happens to water when it gets cold?
It freezes.
It freezes. Okay. This is a problem. You know, I meant, you can hold on to that. I know what I said. I meant to actually, I forgot to do this last night. Has anyone ever taken like a stalk of celery and put it in the freezer? And then taken it out and let it warm up a little? What happens to it?
Ew.
Yeah, he was right. But you remember what happens to it? It gets really rubbery and it doesn't stand up anymore the way celery is supposed to. You want to know why? Celery is chock full of water, just like tree cells are most of the year. But when you freeze it, the water expands and breaks the cells right apart. And so what you have now is a whole set of broken tree cells, all right? Here's what happens. The tree does not want to get broken like that celery. So what the tree does in the fall, it actually detects, where'd my scissors go? You're ready, this is excellent timing here. The tree actually detects that there's not enough sunlight anymore, that we're not going to be getting too much sugar. So what it does is it says, Rachel, we love you here, but you know what? You're out of here. Falls to the ground, the chlorophyll in the leaves dissipates and they turn other colors like red and what other colors? Brown.
Yellow.
That's right. But the reason that happens is because it's the leaves that cause the water to continually being pulled up the tree. And in the winter, we can't have that. So the tree does a smart thing, gets rid of the leaves, and decides it's just much cheaper this time of year to make all new ones. So I'm going to ask you all, give me all your props back, or put them in the box. Probably better you don't do that. And then I will do an introduction here. Yeah. That's exactly right.
But I thought I become him.
Either one. Some of you become one, some of you become
Or,
the other.
hey, why can't Rachel become the bark? Because leaves can pile up on.
Eventually she'll get there. All right.
You'll become a bark, but you'll
All right. So I want to thank you all for helping us build the tree. I hope you understand a little bit more about how they work and why I like them. And with that, what I'd like to do is introduce Greg O'Neill, who's He's getting his toys ready over there. Greg takes care of trees for the town of Princeton, just south of here. And he knows more about this stuff than I do, so I'm going to let him talk.
Well, that was really cool. I've never seen a presentation like that this morning. How about a round of applause? Oh, that's outstanding. So you've learned a little bit about trees this morning so far, huh?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So, my name is Mr. O'Neill, and I'm an arborist. Okay. How do trees affect you every day? Go ahead.
Give us oxygen.
Excellent. What else? Go ahead.
It gives us sugar.
Sugar? Good.
Food.
Food?
Oh wait, I was gonna say food.
Yeah, okay, good.
Maple syrup.
Maple syrup?
Sugar.
Sugar, excellent. All excellent answers. You know, trees affect us in different ways every day. Just take a look outside right now. Imagine no trees there. Wouldn't look very good, would it? Look terrible. Just by looking at trees, we actually like it. It makes us feel better. Did you know that in hospitals, when a patient can look out the window and see a beautifully planted courtyard of trees, they have a faster and better recovery rate from operations than people who don't have that? That's actually proven scientific fact. So trees affect our quality of life. So what I do is I take care of trees. And do you think that's an important thing to do?
Yes.
Yeah, keep them happy, keep them healthy. Okay. So what I do every day is I have to do a couple of things. One, I take care of trees, but mostly I want to maintain safety. Okay, because tree work can be a dangerous line of work. So one of the first things I do when I get out of my truck in the morning is I put on my gloves. We use a lot of sharp tools, things that I can cut my hands with or nick myself with, so I want to protect my hands. So I put my gloves on first. The next thing I put on is this really cool helmet right here.
Awesome.
What this does is it protects me in 3 different ways. One, the hard outer shell keeps things from hitting me on top of the head. Secondly, it protects my hearing with these earmuffs right here. Chainsaws, chippers, now my hearing is all protected from those loud noises. And the last thing is my face shield. Keeps the sawdust, keeps twigs, branches, things like that from hitting me in my face and possibly hurting me. So once I've done that, now I'm ready to work. Now I'm ready to get out and start working on the trees. Now there's 2 ways that we can get into a tree. One is through what's called a bucket truck. And that's a machine that picks you up, lifts you up, and brings you all around the canopy of the tree. But there's another way, too, to get into a tree. What do you think that might be? Go ahead. Climbing, excellent. If I'm going to climb a tree, I have to use certain other little items here. Now, one of the things that I brought for you this morning to see is what's called climbing spikes. Right? These actually go on my feet. And what I do is I take them and I stick them into the side of the tree in order to get up into the very top of it. Now, I will only use these if I'm cutting a tree down. Why do you think that is? If I'm just going to prune a tree, I won't wear these. Why do you think that is? Go ahead.
Because it's dangerous in the area, because it looks like it's going to fall, and it could fall on someone.
Okay, that's against. But if I'm just going to cut the tree down, or if I'm just going to prune a tree, I'm not going to cut it down. Why would I not want to use these? Go ahead.
Because then it will damage the tree.
That's right. I'm going to poke a lot of holes in the tree with these spikes here. All right. So if I'm going to cut a tree down, it doesn't really matter. But if I'm going to just prune the tree, I don't wear these. I just use my feet. Now, once I decide I want to climb into the tree, I wear this. This is called the saddle. The saddle it goes around my waist, just like this. And it allows me to attach a couple of different types of ropes to it so I can move around in the tree. The first rope is what's called a lanyard. And the lanyard goes around the trunk of a tree, like that, and it attaches onto this other ring right over here. And that will hold me on the trunk of the tree. So I'm just stuck right on the trunk of the tree. But if I want to move around in the tree, if I want to walk out on the ends of branches, things like that, I use a different rope, but it's called a climbing line. This right here is my climbing line. What I do with this is I attach it right to the top of the tree. I attach the rope itself right to these 2 rings of my belt, And I can move around in the tree that way. I can walk around, I can walk on the ends of branches, I can do whatever I want because this will support me in the tree. How long do you think this rope is? Go ahead.
28 feet,
Okay, good.
30 feet,
30 feet, okay, good.
maybe 28 feet.
28 feet, okay, good guesses. This rope's actually 120 feet long.
I don't know.
Now, more importantly, how much weight do you think this will hold? Go ahead.
150.
150, good guess. Go ahead.
200.
200?
100 pounds.
100 pounds. Okay, all good guesses. This rope will hold 5,800 pounds before breaking. Okay? So the older I get, the heavier I get, the happier I am that this thing will hold a lot of weight. Okay? Now, if I'm going to cut a branch off a tree or a big section of a tree, I can't just let it fall to the ground because it might break something, I use another rope. It's called a lowering line. And it's this little one right here.
It doesn't look little to me.
No, it's not really that
That looks
long.
like a snake.
Yeah, it's a big rope. Well, how long do you think this one is? Go ahead. Okay, good guess.
132.
Good, you're close.
250.
All good guesses. 150 feet. All right. Now, most important question of the day is how much weight will this baby hold? Go ahead.
1,500.
Good guess. Go ahead.
2,000.
2,000. One more. Go ahead.
5,000.
5,000. Okay, good guesses. This rope will hold 18,000 pounds without breaking. How many of you rode in a school bus to school this morning? Okay, this rope will actually pick that up off the ground and not break. That's how strong it is. Okay, so this is a very important piece of equipment on our trucks. All right, now with my last minute that I have to talk to you, it's your turn. Who has questions that they'd like to ask of me about trees and Arbor Day? Go ahead.
How long will it take until it grows really, really big?
What, a tree?
Yeah.
Trees grow at different rates.
Well, you can tell them about their buttonwood tree.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
a pretty slow growing tree.
Yeah, those are slow growers. The Buttonwood tree, it's a Native American tree. Those trees, there's a couple of things. The way a tree grows, its growth habit is one thing, and that's this branching structure. Some trees grow like this, some trees grow like this, some trees grow like this. Your Buttonwood tree is going to grow like this. It's going to nice and straight out. Okay, it's a beautiful tree, absolutely beautiful tree. The other thing about trees and how fast they grow is what goes on in their environment. Sometimes there could be an insect problem, which would cause a slowdown of the growth. Sometimes it could be a disease problem, which also slows down their growth. There could be drought, there could be too much water, there could be all kinds of different environmental factors that come into play. But with these, the Buttonwood trees, you'll probably be reaching a mature tree, which will get to, with those depending upon where they're growing, probably about between 60, maybe 70 feet in height. Probably about, I guess, about the same width of it. You'll probably get there in about a 60, 70, 75 year time frame. Not that high, they're very, very tough trees. Anything of the sycamore family, the Buttonwood sycamore, London plane tree family, those are actually used a lot as street trees because of their tough ability to adapt to bad circumstances. And they can really get through an awful lot. If you put some more sensitive types of trees into there, they probably wouldn't make it, like American beech or something like that. They wouldn't do well in those types of settings. So how we pick trees out for different areas, that's vitally important.
Now, a lot of the chances of your trees here surviving, a lot of it's going to depend on what you guys do. And so in a few minutes, I'm going to tell you some things you can do to make their chances the best they can be to grow up in that 60 years and be 60 foot tall and 60 foot wide.
Excellent. And that's very important that you take care of that this weekend. You're not going to get a better planting weekend than this weekend. Nice and cool, nice and moist, perfect time to plant a tree.
And all the baseball games are rained out, so you got time.
You got time to do it. All right, boys and girls, thank you very much for the opportunity to come in and speak this morning. And enjoy your Arbor Day. Thanks very much.
Last thing we're going to do we're going to talk a little bit about how to plant your tree so that it has a real good chance to live. Could I get someone, you, take the other end of this? Let's spread this out. I tend to make a mess. Here. Okay, open that up. And is it wet? I was out camping last weekend. Okay, put it down. That will do it, I think. All right, plant as we can do it. One. Very important. The first thing you can do to help it out is to plant it the right way. Okay, now I know this is silly and I'm going to laugh, but the roots go down into the soil. This end goes up.
Excuse the interruption, please.
Yes, this has
Lucy
occurred before.
Joy
We don't want to do that.
for Arbor Day, could you please report to room
Okay.
300?
Now, the first important thing is when you plant a tree, it is always a two-man person job. Under comes back in right. Very hard to do by yourself. So you'll need to recruit your mom, your dad, your brother, or sister, somebody to help you do this. So what I want you to do as carefully as you can, and that really means keep as much of the dirt in the box as you can. I want you to kind of dig a hole in the middle, pile this stuff up. You got to go deep because look at how far we have to go. The first question you're going to have is how deep do I plant? The answer is you can actually see where the little hairs. You might actually want to use your hand.
It's collapsing.
Yes. Yeah. That's right. Dog style is actually great. Here we go. Put this up. Put this up. Get that out. I always resort to my hands. I'm sorry, but I do. That's pretty good. Okay. Now look at the tree. Where the little hair roots start, all those hair roots have to be in the ground. Just above the first hair roots, you're going to see a little thickening. It's right here. That's called the root collar. The root collar ought to be underground. Everything above it, above ground, everything below it, down. So we have our hole as deep as we can get it. Now the problem with this guy is he's got long roots. You would like, I'm going to need you to hold the tree in the hole, kind of like that. Now don't push it in yet. You want to, if there were side roots, you want to spread them out as far as you can because you want to encourage the roots to go in all directions. But here we pretty much just have one big root. So you're going to hold that there. You want to make sure that you actually dig the hole deeper than the bottom of the root. Okay? And then you can fill back in. Trees like it when you dig out the soil around it. Loosen it up. Okay. Now, we ought to be able to fill that hole back in. Go ahead. Okay. Yeah. Now you can see my box is actually not quite deep enough for this tree, and I thought I picked the smallest one. You really need a fairly deep hole. It means our hole isn't deep enough.
There's a stick in here.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just like nature. This stuff happens. If you find yourself piling up dirt above the tree to cover the roots, take it out, start over, dig the hole deeper. You really want the root collar to be about at ground level. You want all those hair-like roots down in the ground. And you really want about a 2-foot wide circle around it. Give the tree lots of dug up area. Tomorrow, it's going to be wet. It's going to be very easy to dig. Okay? So what I want is 2 more volunteers. We're going to plant this tree again. Sure. Who hasn't had a chance? And come on up.
Yes, finally.
Okay. Make way. Let someone else get a turn. Now, tomorrow will be raining. Usually what you do after you plant trees, you just dump a lot of water out. At least a gallon of water for a tree this size. Tomorrow will be raining, probably not necessary. But I'm telling you, June, July, August, you know when it doesn't rain for a week or so at a time? These guys need a little water. So you come out and give them some water once a week in the summertime. That's probably the difference between them making it through the first year and not making it through the first year, unless we have a very wet summer. So you might want to try to remember, when you find your place, put the tree, put someplace that you go by often. So in the summer, you put some water there. Okay, let's unplant this tree. Let me take it out. Okay. One of you dig, one of you hold. Decide which it will
I'll
be.
dig it.
Okay, she's going to dig, you're going to hold. Okay, let's make that hole. One last thing that will give your tree a good chance to live. Who here has a lawnmower that cuts their grass? Okay. Lawnmowers and trees don't get along, at least not trees this size. You need to put a little fence, a little chicken wire fence around this thing. Either your dad with the lawnmower will get it, if you don't put that fence in there, or the deer in your neighborhood will get it. Who has deer in the neighborhood? Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
Deer love these trees. They eat them, and I'm telling you, this is one half snack for a deer. And if they snack on it, that will be the end of it. So try to get a little wire fence up higher than the tree. Not that high, but maybe about this size for that, for some trees that size. Yeah.
Wire or?
Chicken wire, yeah, kind of a wire fence. Something to keep the munching deer and the lawnmower away. Okay? Your dad won't run that wire over. Okay,
Oh, and I know another.
that's about right. Trouble is, we're never gonna get it quite deep enough, but go ahead, fill in the hole.
Excuse
It's
me?
all right, we're gonna do it, and then we're gonna note that we didn't try to keep it up. Okay, you have to hold on to this tree. You wanna hold it straight. Let the other person go around it. Okay,
Excuse me?
yes?
You can't make the fence too close to the tree. No, deer can get in.
Oh,
really
you've
far.
observed this, have you? Any fence is better than none.
I know, but you're not gonna want to put it too close to the tree, or else the deer can just. The fence isn't far enough away, so
Well-
it's not gonna stop the deer. It's just
Well,
it's
might.
gonna stay there, stretch its head in, and just pull it out.
It might. The thing is, your wire is gonna be so much more of a nuisance than your tree at this point. It'll probably decide to go eat something that's easier to get. But that wire will do an awful lot. That chicken wire will do an awful lot.
You're killing its roots.
So just mention it to your mom and dad that you want to put a fence around this, and they'll help you. Okay, how are we doing? Is it straight? Yeah, kind of, I think is the operative word. Yeah, kind of. Okay. Did we get it deep enough?
I guess.
I guess. Now you have to be careful, because if you look in here, I know what I'm going to find. I'm going to find the roots are now bent on the bottom. It isn't your fault. The tree's just too big for that. You see the way that the root was bent like that? When you do this in your backyard, and you have a chance to dig as deep a hole as you want, make sure that root is pointed down and the hole is big enough to allow that to happen. My box, this tree is too big for my box. You can't put it.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what, I still saw, you can see how the root collar is still here. We actually want our whole finger, it's not your fault, it's the way it is. I just want you to be able to recognize when there's something wrong. And that's good enough. As you can see, if you end up doing it that way, with a big mound in order to cover all the roots, take it out, start over, dig a deeper hole.
What if you bury it too much?
Good question. If you bury it too much, here's what happens. The upper part of the tree is not designed to be underground. So what happens is, insects, little animals, they bury into that dirt that gives them cover, and they start chewing on it of the tree. So you actually, and it starts to rot too. So if you bury your tree, if you plant your tree too deeply, you will also hurt it. Okay, I think we found someone who really likes having their hands in the dirt. Okay. Retreat, cease and desist. All right. At this point, what I'd like to do is let you all sit down and thank you all for your attention. Yes, that's my tree. Yeah, it's planted one more time in my yard. They simply said, thank you. I enjoyed my morning this morning. I enjoyed your avid attention and your questions. I hope you learned a little bit about trees, and I hope above all that you'll plant a tree tomorrow, or even after school today.
That's what I was going to do, because my mom's a good plant.
Excellent, excellent. Your mom sounds like someone who can help you a lot with this. Go ahead, Jody.
I can't really take care of it because I'm going to my cousin's house.
You mean this weekend? Or for a long time?
No, for just this weekend.
Okay.
It wasn't planted after.
All you have to do, get home today after school. You can plant it then, or you can put it in a cold, dark place, like a refrigerator, something like that. Yeah, refrigerator. And you can plant it early next week. That will work. But really, the best time to do it is today or tomorrow.
Or since he's going to his cousin's house this weekend, he can plant it today and then tomorrow when it's raining.
That sounds like tomorrow when it's raining, it will get a nice drink. It will
No,
almost
he
take care of
needs
itself.